Tim is a passionate man with vision. He is driven by the mission of the school. He is driven by the Benedictine values. His smile is contagious. The way he talks about the school is contagious. There's no mountain too high that he won't climb for this school, and we climbed a few along the way together.
The opportunity and the position I applied for was Dean of Students. When I first stepped on this campus in 1989, just looking at the campus, the size of it, the dedicated monks that were here at the time. When I came, 13 monks, 11 lay people. You could see the fact that it had a good core of people that wanted to make this more than it was at the time.
From the very beginning, there was something special about his style of leadership. In a situation that was divided, Tim seemed to be able to rise above that division and be able to unite people, even in his role as Dean of Students.
It was obvious that the most important part of the school was the relationship between the students and the teachers and the administrators. We didn't have anything to sell ourselves on but our heart and our soul, and Tim was obviously that heart and soul.
Immediately when he became Dean of Students, led with a real positive attitude. He was just upbeat personality, always saw the good side. He loved cheers, whether it was games or at meetings, ole, 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 ole. That's what I think of when I think of Tim.
During a game, you will hear Tim's voice. He's one of the loudest voices. He will be cheering, whether it's way up at the top of the stands at a soccer game or on the sidelines at a basketball game. You will hear him. He cheers, and he's into watching the kids play, and he will let them know when they need to work harder and when they need to go after, dive after a ball or go for a loose ball, because that's the kind of athlete that he was, and it's fun to be around him at a game because he enjoys himself cheering for our athletes.
I think providing athletic teams for anybody at whatever skill level is really important. That whole no-cut policy, that anybody can come in and play at a certain level and be part of a team. Athletics is such a big part of any high school that, to be able to have that kind of opportunity that you wouldn't be able to have at some other schools is really important and helps build kind of just the spirit of the place.
We had a person who was the head of school, and that ended. And so we're left looking for a head of school. And I went to the president of the school, Father William at that time, and I said, you could have hired Tim. So there was no big committee, no search or anything else like that. We presented the opportunity to Tim, and he took it. And that was the best thing that ever happened to us.
One of the first people that I met was Tim Molak. We were in the middle of what we used to call Red Square. He had a megaphone, and he was yelling out encouragements to the kids as they walked by. He knew every single kid's name. He just came off as this really warm, quick to laugh, quick to smile person that was obviously the center and the heart of the school beside the monks.
There was a theme a few years ago that the student body put together. It's Priory is a place where everybody knows your name. Well, that was all Tim. He would walk up to anybody during open house or during back to school night. He knew their name, he could engage with them, and then he'd move on to the next family. He just made you feel like you mattered. That's the kind of thing that makes a good school into a great school.
I think what Tim models most for the students is this Benedictine welcome and kindness. So he's embodying that aspect of the mission all the time. He's also fastidious in his care of the facility. If it's picking up trash after an event, that's what he does. If it's serving ice cream, I don't think he feels that any job is beneath him if there's a job that needs to be done. And I think that modeling for kids is really, really profound.
Right from the start, he wanted to know what's important to the Benedictines. And so throughout the years, he has learned very, very quickly about what we are and who we are.
Right from the very beginning, I felt that he felt at home. With full understanding of what the Priory is, what the Priory is all about, he stepped in.
Tim allowed people to believe in the Priory, that it had a future. And to some degree, that is part of his legacy. He allowed the people that really wanted the Priory to succeed to come forward and make it.
He and Ray had the momentum to start all this building.
2003, we got the master plan, the new master plan for Woodside Priory completed and approved. And so we are off to the races to raise the money to build the buildings to expand the school and bring it into the 21st century.
We were working on this campaign and how we wanted to phase it. The whole thing was we felt our performing arts needed a lot of work. It needed a facility, and that's why this became the first part of the capital campaign, was the Performing Arts Center, along with some additional housing. It is one of the best facilities we've built on campus here, is the performing arts and what it's allowed us to do with kids and to help balance their lives and do all of those things. And it was definitely a concerted effort.
What is for the good of the students today, 2019, not 1956 and not 1989. The world has changed, and if we don't keep up with that change, close to Silicon Valley and all of that, it just, things move fast. Tim moves fast too.
Tim has always been very generous with the amount of funding that science teachers receive here, so we could build a program that is competitive and that interests the kids.
He's the one who brought me in and said, what do you need? How much money do you need? That encouraged me to do my best and try my hardest. And he's always trusted me. And that validation as a teacher means everything.
When a kid graduates from here, they are a lifelong learner. And that is imbued on them by the teachers and by the Benedictines and by the staff and by the environment.
You know, the last probably 15 years has been such a great movement for the facilities, for academics, for athletics. We've come a long way. We have teams that are competitive. We have wonderful students. I think we've just hired some really smart people over the last 10 years, and that has made a really big difference. And not just smart that they had a great mind, but they had a great heart too, heart and soul. And I think that's what's really the greatest word of mouth we have right now, is the way our kids and our parents talk about their experience here. And that's been created by the relationships that they have with their teachers. The fact that they come here wanting to learn because of all the things they've seen or heard about this place. And the facilities, whether it's the stream building, the garden, the track and field, the pool, the Benedictine classrooms, all those environments I think have really allowed our kids to grow in ways they never knew they could.
His legacy is he has left this environment and this culture that will live a very long time beyond the monks and beyond him.
Buildings are buildings, they're great and wonderful, but they're not Tim. Tim is someone who is such a part of this place, and for so many years that he will not be replaced.
I believe he made the Priory what it is today. He would say, oh, well, I had a lot of help from all these people. Yeah, you did, but, it was him.
If we are looking at our mission statement, we call them 5 Benedictine values, which we embrace. And Tim was always fully not only supporting but uplifting and promoting these values. And I think that makes the Priory what it is.